Welcome to the summer session of the Couple Money Podcast. Taking care of your family and finances can be tough. Even with automating some of the essentials, the two of you still need some way to stay on top of things. You want to make sure you're also prepared for when life happens. But where do you start? And how do you keep from drowning in the details? Kimberly Palmer, author of Smart Mom, Rich Mom, is going to help out today. In this episode, we'll get into what traits she discovered and admires with financially savvy moms, how to work together on your finances while still respecting your own strengths, and what protections you need for your family. I hope you enjoy. Kimberly Palmer knows quite a bit about finances. She was the senior money editor at U.S. News and World Report for 9 years and also the author of Generation Earn, the young professional's guide to spending, investing, and giving back. Besides her professional credentials, she also has the practical. She and her husband have worked hard to care and provide for their two little ones and each other. As she began working for Smart Mom, Rich Mom, her experience certainly helped, but she knew that solutions for finances usually reflected the family's DNA. So she had a goal in mind for who she would interview.
I kind of approached it like I am going to seek out people, women, moms, who I feel like are really good at managing their money. Not necessarily people who are just earning a lot of money, but people who earn all different kinds of money, stay-at-home moms too, and just see, what their secrets are for why they are in control or feel like they're doing a good job managing their money. And to me, it's a very empowering topic, so I really enjoy it.
With her enthusiasm and skills as a journalist, she dug in. As she was researching, interviewing, and writing, she picked up on some wonderful ideas and tips that she began incorporating into her own finances. One trait she noticed and admired in a lot of these women was their confidence.
What always just really kind of inspires me is women who just feel so confident in their decisions and their decision-making power with money. There are actually two women who live in DC who I interviewed in person who had basically grown up. They didn't grow up with much money, but they'd always grown up having part-time jobs and like even as teenagers, and that kind of got them in the habit of having to manage their own money. So then when they got married and became moms, they continued to take over those reins and be really in control of making all those investment decisions and spending decisions. And so for me, what was always most inspiring is women just who feel so confident and just good about the decisions they make, because what I found is that so many women, and myself included sometimes, really doubt ourselves when it comes to making these money decisions. So I think what always inspired me is women who just totally embrace their role as the family money managers and just really take the reins and, take responsibility, because our kids are counting on us to make a lot of these decisions.
Every couple is different. For some, one of you may enjoy handling the details, or you might fight over who has control over what. And it could be that neither one of you want to do it. However, there are two key things to remember if you want to take care of your family and your marriage. The first thing, both of you need to be in the loop.
One of the biggest things that really struck me, and also because I was actually making this mistake myself, which I quickly rectified as I did my research, but so many women, and this is pretty shocking just because it's like not the 1950s anymore, but it still can seem like it with money sometimes. So many women still, if they have a male partner, a husband, they just kind of let their husbands manage the money and sometimes don't even know the passwords and the accounts. And it's really crazy. I was actually making this mistake myself just because my husband is one of those people that loves Excel and loves managing money. And I literally did not even have our Excel spreadsheet with our accounts on my computer. He had it saved to his computer, password protected. I mean, I couldn't have even access it if I needed to. And as I was doing my research, I realized, this is a mistake. Like, we as women, as moms, we need to be in control, or at least know where our money is and be able to access it. So I fixed that. I downloaded it to my computer and I made sure I had the password. Because really the fact is, at some point we are probably going to have to manage our money on our own, even just the simple fact that women tend to outlive men. So I think it's really important for us to be really hands-on with our family's money.
And being hands-on in many cases means having a system that allows you to play to your strengths. When the two of you sit down to chat about or work on your finances, split things up.
All our monthly bills are in my name, and the bills come to me and I pay them. And my husband had kind of like the more long-term accounts. Like, he had all the access to our savings and retirement. And I actually found I'm not alone in this. A lot of couples break it down that way because it is a lot of responsibility. And in some ways it's too much for one person to take on everything. We have to know how to manage our money and be involved equally, because otherwise, it's not just tragic situations, but also just, life. Like, what if your partner is on a business trip and suddenly you need to figure something out, or, all kinds of things can happen. Someone gets sick and you have to take over. So I tried for the accounts I was managing, I also made that more organized and put that all in a way that my husband could take over if he needed to, and vice versa too. I could take over for the accounts he was the primary person on. And just think it's so important because, who knows what could happen. And it's important to be able to take over if you have to.
If you're ready to master your money, but you feel overwhelmed and you think there's just too many details to worry about, Kim has a wonderful place to start.
Definitely advocate sitting down and organizing all of your accounts. So make sure you know where everything is. For things like life insurance or other types of insurance accounts, homeowners insurance, I think likewise with that, it helps to review it regularly. So I like having just a binder, like a color-coded binder, and file folders where each account that you have to be checking up on is laid out there. So you can review it regularly, and then you can start to prioritize. So I think number one is getting organized, and then number two is prioritization. Because for a lot of parents, especially, you have to make these decisions like with retirement versus college savings versus just your, day-to-day household costs. And we face such huge costs. So it can be hard to sort that all out and make sure you are deciding, where to put your money and making sure it's going towards your priorities. I think a lot of us have the intuition to kind of put our kids first in all cases, but that's not necessarily best when it comes to retirement. You probably want to prioritize your retirement before you sort out your college savings, for example. So just laying that all out in terms of your priorities, and maybe number one, if you still have any credit card debt, paying that off. So I am such a list person, so I like writing everything down. Like, number one, do this. Number two, do this. So for me, it's like, number one, retirement. Okay, I sorted that out. I have that on automatic savings. Now I can move to the next thing, which is college savings, and setting up an automated account for that. So I'm a huge fan of automation, a huge fan of making lists. But, it all starts with getting organized, because this stuff can be so overwhelming, as we know.
Special thanks to Kim for being a part of the show today. Please pick up her book, Smart Mom, Rich Mom, when you have a chance. It's a wonderful resource about building wealth while raising a family. And for local listeners, just wanted to remind you, next Tuesday, Jason Vitug from the last episode is coming to Raleigh for his book tour. That'll be June 21st at 5:30 in the evening. Please come out and meet us. Get encouraged, have some fun. It's going to be at the Frontier. I'll have all the details and address in the show notes. Couple Money Podcast is made possible because of listeners like you. Every tweet, Facebook like, and rating gets the word out. Thanks for those who have already left a review. It makes me feel wonderful to see what you have to say. You can also become a patron and support the show. For $1 a month or more, you can get behind-the-scenes access and extra bonuses. I'm so grateful for your support, whichever way you prefer. I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care.